Welcome to another episode here on Deep Mountain Security. Today I want to go over keeping your credit card information safe online. So, in light of a recent breach, this actually came out today, I believe, over at OnePlus.net, they make phones, and they've done some really cool stuff in terms of phones and whatnot lately. However, today they announced that they lost about 40,000 credit card numbers associated with customers plus customer data. So I just kind of want to show you what not to do online. So I don't promote this site at all, by the way. I just kind of found a random thing online and figured we could go with it. So when you're browsing and buying something online, at a random place, and you add something to your cart and you go to checkout, because that's just the way things happen when you're buying stuff online. Generally, you're going to go through some kind of a form to fill out all kinds of information. Sometimes they'll have you create an account, sometimes they won't. And depending on a lot of different things, like I said before, you probably want to have if you're going to create an account, it's probably fine most of the time. However, people just know that if the company was to get hacked, just be conscious of what information you give them that might be that a hacker might be able to get access into. And I mean, a lot of this is basic information, your name, address, phone number, so still, these are things that can be used to spam you and scam you left and right. But if we go through this, one of the more important things, and I'm just going to fill out some random stuff here. And so when you go to check out, might help if I did that, and you're going through and it asks for your credit card information. Sometimes you'll have little buttons that'll say, save my information for a faster checkout, or remember me for next time, or remember this card, or remember my billing address or shipping address, or remember all my information. And sometimes that's okay. Some companies do a really good job at keeping your data safe. Like Amazon generally tends to do a pretty good job because of the number of customers they have to support, and a couple of other companies, generally credit card companies, they do a good job when they try to. They're credit card companies, so they have to. However, some sites, you don't know when they're going to get hacked, or if they're going to get hacked, and for a lot of smaller sites or whatever, and this actually goes through Shopify or whatever, so that might not be too bad. And Shopify is actually a decent platform. They do a good job. However, it's not to say that anyone's not vulnerable to an attack, especially a targeted attack. Someone can always get through. But when you see these little save my information for a faster checkout or something similar after you enter in your credit card information, and it says, do you want to save this card for a faster checkout? A lot of people, just for the convenience of it, they'll click the yes button, save my information, because in the next time, it's quite likely you'll purchase from this company again if you like their product or are familiar with it. However, that might not always be a good idea. So two things I've noticed when on some sites that I visit that I purchase things off of, I choose not to save my credit card information for two reasons. The first one is if the company is hacked and they lose my credit card information, then that's a big problem for me, because then I have to pay more close attention to my credit report and transactions on my credit card. However, another reason I don't like doing it is it's a budgetary restriction. So when I have to go to a website and it has to bug me, so I have to pull out my credit card, and enter all my information in and try and remember which numbers go to which card and whatnot, then it makes it a little bit more of a hassle, and I don't want to purchase stuff online as much. And that, for me at least, and this isn't going to be the same for everyone, but for me at least, that's kind of helped me to save money here and there when I implement stuff like that. That's just kind of a side effect of the whole thing, though, to be honest. However, so in the event that you do save your credit card, you choose to save your credit card information with a company and they keep all your stuff on their website, and you get alerted one day that they're hacked. What do you do then, right? Because that's always an important event. So a couple things I'd recommend. When you go to your credit card company's provider, when you go to your web-based application to sign into your company that manages your credit card, you're going to have, if you go into the settings option, and once again, I'm not going to really demonstrate this for you, for various reasons. However, you're going to have a lot of different options. One thing I recommend doing is just checking on your credit card balance on a near daily basis, or a bi-daily, or a couple times a day, or a couple times a week at least, after a company's been hacked that you stored your data with, just to monitor charges and see what's going on. You should really know your transactions and what's going on in your credit card. Another thing you can do is you can enable alerts in your credit card account. Generally, you can enable something like text messages or email messages for any transaction above a given amount, and you can set that to anything as low as $10 if you want. So anything larger than a $10 transaction is going to notify you, and you'll know, okay, I just made a transaction, this is just fine, or I didn't make a transaction, who's using my credit card, And that's when you might want to start looking into it and start letting the credit card company know, hey, I think my card's been compromised, I need a new one. And don't be afraid to go ahead and tell the credit card company, just say, hey, I'm finding transactions that don't belong to me. I need to, get a new card. And they're usually more than happy to help you out and just send you a new card for free in the case of that. Most companies are at least pretty good with that. So I really recommend doing that. So once again, don't save your information unless you really trust the website, because, even the OnePlus.net here, this is a fairly secure website, and even if we add the phone to our checkout and we go to our shopping cart or whatever, and we go to buy something, it says 100% secure payments. It says our information is secure with a certificate. The certificate, it's from that's an alright source, I suppose. Not the greatest though. However, in terms of OnePlus, I've had a lot of people that I know who have had really good experiences checking out with OnePlus and have never had a problem. However, even though, it says 100% secure payments, and, the payment might go through and it might be secure. However, if you're especially if you're saving your stuff, and some companies will save your stuff anyways, they shouldn't, but they do. If they're saving your credit card information, that information is sitting on a server somewhere, and then all this information about your HTTPS, all your certificate information, all the encryption protocols that you're using to transfer your data over to their server, that's great while you're making the transaction. However, as soon as the transaction's done, if your data is stored on their server, then if that server is compromised in any way, then your data is lost and somebody else has access to it. So at that point, if your data is being saved, you're no longer in control of how secure your data is. And that's never really a good thing. You want to be in control of your security. You want to take control. You want to be able to verify that you're using secure protocols, encryption standards, and the latest cryptographic methods, all around to secure yourself and make sure that you stay secure. However, if your data is sitting on somebody else's server, then your security depends on their security. And you don't know what kind of standards they're implementing on their server, You might be able to call up and ask them, and maybe they'll be willing to tell you, but you never know. They could have, a bunch of secure servers and then one random insecure server that a hacker can gain access to, and then use that to kind of traverse over into the more secure servers. So there's so many ways that things can go wrong. Once again, I just recommend don't save your information for a faster checkout if possible. Some sites, might be more secure than others. So, it's not a bad idea to do it sometimes. However, especially on sites that you don't know or are not familiar with or not trustworthy, or, might seem like maybe something that the entire world doesn't know about. Some websites have huge reputations. They have their reputations to maintain. If Apple got hacked or Google got hacked or Amazon got hacked and everybody found out about it, that would really hurt their reputation. People would switch from Apple and they'd start going to Microsoft or somewhere else. People would stop using Google and they'd go over to Bing. I don't know why everyone's going to Microsoft, but it could work the other way too. They do a really good job, or they try to, of keeping their data secure. However, that doesn't mean it's 100% secure. And I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to accidentally click it. In some websites, they'll automatically have it clicked by default, and so you might actually, once you get to the website, you might have to go down and uncheck it before it'll get rid of that. So I just thought I'd let you guys know, even though sometimes it might seem like a good idea to create an account or to save your credit card information. So yeah, make it easier. You know, if you're always buying Domino's Pizza online, you know, why not save your credentials? However, do you really want to save your credit card on Domino's.com? You know, it might make you take an extra 5 minutes to pull out your credit card, or, you know, maybe 10 minutes if you have to go to the other side of your house to find it. And sure, that's a little inconvenience. However, is the security and protection of your credit card number and details worth that 10 minutes it takes to go find your credit card, pull it out, and type it in? In most cases, I think yes, it is, because for example, if you were to take the 10 minutes, let's say you made 20 orders at some place or whatever, most of them, you know, say secure 20 orders, maybe you're saving yourself 10 minutes a piece. You know, that adds up to, I don't know, an hour or two, maybe a couple hours even, you know, of time saved looking for credit card credentials. However, if your credit card is compromised, and when you put your information into here, they're getting everything: your credit card number, your name, expiration date, and the CVV number on the back. This is essentially the same thing as them stealing the data off of your magnetic strip. It contains all this information right here, plus your shipping address and your billing address and everything, zip code and whatnot, and you don't want someone to have access to. That's just a bad idea. However, back to what I was mentioning. So if, you know, you might save yourself a couple hours a week or some, you know, not a week, but, you know, a couple hours a month in searching for your credit card to pull it out to make an online payment through a website that you visit frequently and frequently make payments on. However, if your data is compromised, then it might take anywhere from 3 to 5 business days up to a week or two for your, you know, for you to, between you recognizing the transaction on your card and your credit card company sending you information, sending you the new card, you know, shipping times and so forth for them to get you a new card. It might take, you know, a couple of weeks even, depending on how good your credit card company is. So once again, I just want to emphasize that don't save your information unless you absolutely trust the site, know the risks. You know, sometimes risks are okay, but you have to be the one to decide, can I accept this risk? Is it worth it for me? In most of the cases, I think the obvious answer is no, it isn't. However, there are a few that are, and that's, I suppose, a topic for another day altogether. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel here at Deep Mountain Security. Let us know in the comments below what else you'd like, and have a good day.